Hi there, traders. This is Brad Gilbert with the FX Market Insight for Wednesday, the 15th of January. All right, just looking at the main news pages, you're getting the same regurgitated geopolitical crap. And that just tells us that there's no real fundamental shifts in the market. The central banks are very quiet. The US are moving towards a deal. They're talking about releasing some information Wednesday. So just keep an eye on that in the North American session. So that's something interesting. Of course, the Trump impeachment slowly cruising along. In the meantime, the US, I mean, it is one of those weird things. As you get closer to a US election, you do see a lot of weird stuff. The US now accusing Switzerland of manipulating their currency, amongst other things, right? So there's not a hell of a lot going on. So don't start dreaming up trading opportunities when there's very little momentum in the market. Now, let me just come across here, take you over to the charts. Looking at the Aussie, just trading sideways, as is Euro. I mean, Sterling just drifting around, poking above that short-term resistance line, but it's not going anywhere. Kiwi, it is sort of drifting lower and sort of sideways, but to me, it's starting to break down again. I think under 66, the figure, we might see something happen. It'd be nice to see some Kiwi or US data to get the ball rolling there. And once again, that safe haven trade just sitting up around the high sort of 109s at this stage. Really not a hell of a lot going on. If I bring you back to the dollar, because of, let's give you a look at the dollar index, see what it's doing. At the moment, it's sort of poked its head higher and now just sort of drifting sideways. And that's as we're sort of waiting for some of these US geopolitical situations. Obviously, we've just had the US-Iran issue. We've got the US-China deal getting done, then the impeachment. They're still simmering away. A little bit of wild price action here the last few days on the dollar yuan. The yuan appreciating there, then slowly giving back some ground. So anyway, this US-China trade deal is going to be pretty important to see what's going on. And what you want to be doing is, before I come to the MyFX Trading Hub page, just have a look through. This is one of the templates I've got, the Riskon, Risk-Off template. Just having a look at what's going on. I mean, you think it was a massive risk-off situation, but look at how far these currencies have moved. They've hardly moved at all. Asian equities, well, they're getting a little bit touched up. The US equities up the top here, sort of pretty neutral. Some up, some down, but no real major significance there. So what the market is doing, US equity markets are sort of treading water, and that's really keeping things slowing down. Gold up a little bit there, but that's, safe haven. I don't know. It's hard to work out exactly where things are cooking at the moment. All right, so that brings me back to the MyFX Trading Hub page. Now, I'll give you a bit of a summary here of what we think is going on. Now, looking at the overall analysis, there's usually something sticks out that you can tell things aren't right. Okay, we do have average trading conditions in my eyes. The US dollar pairs, which are up the top here, okay, you got a mixed bag here across those. Now that's weird. Okay, it's not completely weird, but what I'm trying to say is these things should generally correlate, and they aren't at the moment, right? So it tells you different individual events are impacting, and then you come down. If those other pairs at the top are doing something, the other ones should be doing the opposite. Well, they're quite neutral there as well. So to me, these are very average trading conditions. If you sit in front of the screens all day, you're going to start seeing things and trying to, make trades up. To me, there's nothing worth really focusing on, because these issues down here, we're waiting for some resolution on those. Now, coming into the data, we did see the UK GDP data impact a few days ago. So keep an eye on the UK CPI data. That's going to be maybe of significance for sterling and sterling crosses. Coming into that North American session, the US PPI, well, the CPI numbers were bang on expectations. I can't see any reason why these would be significantly different. But make sure if you are trading during that session, just have a look to make sure the numbers aren't too wonky donkey that could upset the balance of things at the moment. At this stage, I think we're going to continue to trade sideways until we do start to see some clear evidence around the US-China trade deal. It looks like the market really doesn't believe the US authorities at this stage, and I'm not surprised after all the shenanigans over the last few years. All right, and that's pretty much where we are, guys. Not much to do. tune up your charts, keep an eye on the levels. We do have things, we have a few technical setups, but we're just lacking the momentum and the fundamental drivers at this point. All right, have a good trade day. Cheerio.